It's 7 a.m. and you're in the middle of making breakfast. Suddenly, bam, the power cuts out. Your toaster, microwave, and coffee machine are all dead. Panic begins to creep in. What do you do now? For the Amish, this wouldn't even raise an eyebrow. In fact, it's just another ordinary Tuesday. Before you gasp at the thought of life without your trusty air fryer, let me tell you something astonishing. The Amish have thrived without electricity for over 300 years. Not only are they surviving, they're flourishing, cooking up homemade meals that could make your favorite takeout place feel second-rate. So how do they manage this? If you're curious, stick around, because this video has all the answers. The heart of the Amish kitchen, the wood-burning stove. At the core of every Amish kitchen stands a wood-burning stove, a true workhorse that defines their daily routine. Picture whipping up every meal on something that looks like it belongs in a museum exhibit. For the Amish, this isn't a backup for emergencies. It's their all-in-one kitchen hub. This stove handles everything: heating, cooking, baking, you name it. Think of it as the original multitasking kitchen gadget, just without the fancy buttons or annoying beeps. Getting your hands on a wood-burning stove. Unlike modern appliances, wood-burning stoves aren't part of your typical kitchen remodel. However, you can still find them. Specialty retailers like Lehman's, known for off-grid and Amish-style living products, or big-box stores like Home Depot often carry them. You might even stumble upon vintage models at estate sales or antique shops. Once you have one, proper installation is key. Place it in a well-ventilated area, ensuring the chimney or flue is correctly fitted and regularly cleaned to avoid blockages. The Amish excel at designing efficient kitchens. Their simple layouts prioritize function over aesthetics, no cluttered shelves or decorative bowls collecting dust. You don't need to tear apart your modern kitchen to adopt this philosophy. Just make small adjustments to create a more functional cooking space. Cooking with a wood-burning stove. A learning curve. Did you know that nearly 90% of American households have never used a wood-burning stove? For the Amish, though, it's second nature. For beginners, mastering one can feel like tackling a video game on expert mode. It requires patience and practice, but the rewards are worth it. Starting the fire is a craft in itself. The Amish recommend quality hardwood, along with small sticks and paper to get things going. Adjusting the heat involves fine-tuning the air vents, a little knob that controls the airflow. Once the fire is steady, larger logs keep it burning, providing a consistent heat source. Cooking this way may take longer, but there's something deeply satisfying about preparing a meal over an open flame. It's a connection to tradition that modern appliances just can't replicate. Enter the cast-iron stove. If the wood-burning stove is the hero of the Amish kitchen, the cast-iron stove is its trusty sidekick. Cooking with one is like taming a small, fiery dragon. Not a dangerous one, but a dragon devoted to perfectly cooked food. Cast-iron stoves are designed to hold heat for extended periods. While modern ovens heat up quickly and cool down just as fast, these stoves take their time. But once they're hot, they stay warm for hours, making them perfect for baking breads and pies. However, using one isn't without its challenges. Feed the fire too much wood, and it overheats. Neglect it, and your food won't cook. Managing the flame is an art the Amish have perfected. Where to find a cast-iron stove? Looking to try one for yourself? Cast-iron stoves can be found at antique stores, specialty retailers, or even second-hand platforms like Craigslist or eBay. Modern versions are still made by brands such as Vermont Castings. Be warned, these stoves are heavy. You'll need help moving one into place, ideally near a chimney or vent for proper smoke ventilation. Setting it up requires more than just plopping it down. It's about creating a setup that works seamlessly with your space. If your home isn't already equipped with a chimney or wall vent, you'll need to install one to use a cast-iron stove safely. According to the Amish Guide on handling these stoves, starting a fire requires dry, seasoned hardwoods like oak or hickory. Begin with kindling a newspaper to ignite the fire, then gradually add larger logs as it catches. Managing heat on a cast-iron stove isn't a one-and-done process. It's a skill you'll develop over time. A stove thermometer can help you maintain a consistent temperature, especially for tasks like baking. You can cook directly on the stove's surface using cast iron pots and pans, or utilize the oven compartment if your stove has one. With a bit of patience and practice, you'll soon be whipping up meals just like the Amish, comforting dishes that warm the soul as much as the body. That's not something your microwave can deliver. The Amish campfire tradition. Another way the Amish prepare delicious meals without worrying about sky-high electricity bills is through campfire cooking. While most of us associate campfires with roasting marshmallows or making s'mores on a rare camping trip, the Amish have turned this practice into an art form perfected over generations. It might sound romantic, but cooking over a campfire involves more than tossing a match into a pile of logs. The Amish cooking handbook emphasizes the importance of building the right kind of fire for your meal. For instance, if you need high intense heat for frying crispy chicken, a teepee-style fire, where sticks are stacked in a cone shape, is your best bet. For slow simmering soups or stews, a log cabin fire works better, with logs arranged crisscross to create steady, even coals. The Amish use an array of tools to maximize their campfire cooking experience. Cast iron pots, skewers, grill racks, and tripods are staples in their arsenal. They hang pots over the flames with tripods, or use makeshift grills with grates to prepare mouth-watering meals without any modern gadgets. If you're new to campfire cooking, take it one step at a time. Trying to replicate the Amish's time-tested methods too quickly might leave you with little more than charred hot dogs and frustration. Propane, the Amish's modern twist. The Amish may lead a simple life, but even they have embraced a few modern conveniences to make things easier. While electricity is off limits, propane and gas are fair game. These energy sources allow them to maintain their values while adding a bit of efficiency to their day-to-day lives. Think of propane as a compromise between going completely off-grid and staying practical. Many Amish homes use propane for cooking, lighting, and heating water. However, moderation is key. They won't be hooking up a propane-powered espresso machine anytime soon. Stoves and ovens are among the most common propane-powered appliances in Amish homes. They're simple, reliable, and practical. If you're thinking about making the switch to propane, whether to save on electricity or prepare for off-grid living, the process is straightforward. You can find propane-powered appliances online or at local hardware stores, with brands like GE and Frigidaire offering dependable options. You'll also need a propane tank, which can be purchased or rented from a local supplier. The supplier typically delivers and installs the tank for you. A word of caution: don't attempt to set it up yourself unless you have experience working with gas. Safety first. Solar energy, the Amish way. While the Amish are known for shunning electricity, some have started embracing solar energy as a sustainable alternative. That's right. Solar power isn't just for tech enthusiasts with rooftop panels. The Amish have adapted this technology in ways that align with their values, incorporating solar-powered tools like ovens into their routines. The solar oven is a game-changer for Amish families who want to bake, roast, or slow cook without using fire, gas, or electricity. Think of it as a portable greenhouse for your food. A solar oven uses reflective surfaces to direct sunlight into a dark, insulated chamber where the heat is trapped and builds up. The result? A versatile cooking tool that can handle anything from baking bread to roasting meats, all powered by the sun. But the ingenuity doesn't stop there. The Amish also use solar dehydrators to preserve fruits, vegetables, and meats. These devices rely on the sun's natural energy to dry out food, eliminating the need for electricity. By combining traditional techniques with carefully chosen modern tools, the Amish have mastered the art of self-reliant, energy-efficient living. Whether you're interested in adopting some of their practices or simply marveling at their ingenuity, there's plenty to learn from their way of life. Harnessing the sun's power for cooking may feel like a modern innovation, but for the Amish it's a seamless extension of their deep connection to nature. By relying on sunlight to prepare their meals, they embody a life free of plugs and wires, just pure, unadulterated solar energy. Next time you catch yourself overly reliant on your electric stove, take a page from their book, build a solar oven, cook your favorite dish, and bask in the simplicity of nature while doing so. From solar ovens to brick ovens, it's clear the Amish prioritize methods that keep technology out of their kitchens. Brick ovens, those rustic and imposing symbols of old-world cooking, are much more than appliances. They're a nod to tradition, community, and resilience. For the Amish, outdoor brick ovens aren't just tools for preparing food, they're integral to their way of life. If you've ever had the chance to participate in baking with a brick oven, you know it's an experience to treasure. Though constructing one is no easy feat, the results are undoubtedly worth the effort. As the saying goes, good things take time, and these ovens are living proof. Building a brick oven. Creating a brick oven isn't as simple as picking one off a shelf at your local store. These ovens are crafted by hand, using natural materials like clay, sand, and bricks. Amish families have passed down the skills needed to build them for generations, turning the process into a true art form. The ovens are typically built outdoors, with a sturdy brick base for support. Inside, fire bricks are arranged to help retain and evenly distribute heat. Proper airflow is key, and being outdoors allows for better ventilation, which ensures consistent cooking temperatures. To use the oven, a roaring fire is built inside using seasoned wood. It takes a few hours for the bricks to absorb enough heat, reaching an optimal temperature of around 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Once ready, the oven can bake bread, pizzas, and other delights that require steady, high heat. Picture the satisfaction of pulling out a loaf of golden, perfectly baked bread from a glowing brick oven. It's not just the taste, it's the aroma, the warmth, and the connection to a tradition that's been practiced for centuries. Add a generous pat of butter to a warm slice straight from the oven, and you'll understand why the Amish cherish this method so deeply. Earth ovens. Cooking beneath the surface. If brick ovens feel like stepping back in time, wait until you hear about earth ovens. This ancient cooking method might sound like something out of a survivalist handbook, but it's a tried-and-true technique the Amish have relied on for generations. The idea of baking underground might seem like a daunting task, but it's far from haphazard. Instead, it's a carefully orchestrated process that combines ingenuity and patience. To start, you'll dig a hole about 3 feet deep and wide enough to hold both your food and heated rocks. Volcanic or river stones work best because they retain heat exceptionally well. Once your pit is ready, a fire is built at the bottom, burning for several hours to heat the rocks thoroughly. When the rocks are glowing with stored heat, the fire is cleared out, leaving the hot stones behind. Now comes the fun part: preparing the food. Meats, vegetables, or even hearty stews are wrapped securely, usually in leaves, burlap, or foil, and placed on the heated stones. The pit is then sealed with dirt, creating an insulated, earthbound oven. The slow-cooked magic of earth ovens. The buried food cooks slowly, with the trapped heat working its magic over several hours. This process allows flavors to blend and intensify, resulting in dishes that feel like they've been crafted by nature itself. From tender meats to perfectly roasted vegetables, the results are rich, earthy, and incredibly satisfying. Cooking this way isn't just about the meal, it's about the connection to a method that has stood the test of time. It's a celebration of patience, tradition, and the beauty of simplicity. Whether you're baking a cake underground or roasting a feast, an earth oven brings a sense of timeless wonder to your kitchen experience. Earth ovens. Cooking, straight from nature. Cooking with an earth oven might sound like a rustic fantasy, but in reality, it's a game changer. These underground marvels can reach temperatures as high as 700 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than most modern kitchen ovens. Thanks to their ability to distribute heat evenly, they create some of the juiciest, most flavorful dishes imaginable. Sure, you can't peek at your food every 10 minutes, but the results more than make up for it. So next time you're microwaving a rush dinner, take a moment to imagine what it's like to cook with the earth itself. Who knows? You might find yourself digging a hole in your backyard. Just don't be surprised if your neighbors start asking questions. And if they do, it's a great chance to introduce them to this timeless method. The Amish secret to preserving food. Canning. Have you ever discovered week-old leftovers that look more like a science experiment? The Amish have perfected a way to avoid this problem entirely: canning. Think of it as meal prepping on steroids, but without the instant pot. Canning is all about preserving food to last through the seasons, ensuring nothing goes to waste. By heating jars to kill bacteria, sealing them tightly, and storing them properly, the Amish keep everything from fruits and vegetables to meats fresh for months. For them, it's routine. For us, it's like unlocking the ability to enjoy summer's sweetness even in the middle of winter. Ever taste peaches in February that taste like they were just picked? That's the magic of canning. How to start canning at home. If you're inspired to try canning yourself, don't worry. It's easier than you might think. Start with the basics: jars, lids, and a water bath canner, basically a large pot for boiling jars. These items are readily available online or at hardware stores, and starter kits can make you feel like a pro in no time. Let's say you're canning tomatoes. First, give them a quick boil until their skins split. Think of it as a tomato spa day. Peel the skins, pack the tomatoes into jars, and add a pinch of salt and lemon juice. Seal the jars, submerge them in the canner, and boil for about 40 minutes. When you hear the satisfying pop of the lid sealing, you'll know your jars are good to go. The Amish don't stop at tomatoes. They can everything from apples and corn to chicken and beef. For meats, they often smoke or dry them for long-term storage. Drying food is another Amish staple, using low heat to remove moisture. Imagine your favorite dried fruit or jerky, but made the old-fashioned way, without any gadgets. Living without refrigeration. Despite not using electric refrigerators, Amish kitchens are impressively stocked with preserved goods, shelves are lined with jars of pickles, dried fruits and other staples, creating a self-sufficient pantry that's as practical as it is nostalgic. It's a reminder that modern conveniences aren't always necessary for good food. Cooking with the seasons. The Amish also adapt their cooking to the seasons, making the most of what's fresh and available. Unlike most of us, they don't plan meals based on cravings or convenience. Instead, they ask, what's ready to harvest? In spring and summer, their meals are filled with fresh corn, berries and tomatoes. These ingredients find their way into everything from hearty stews to sweet pies. By winter, the fields may be bare, but the shelves are stocked with canned fruits, vegetables and meats, summer's flavors preserved in jars. This approach to cooking connects deeply with the rhythms of nature. The Amish understand when to plant, when to harvest, and when to preserve, creating a harmonious relationship with the land. Try it yourself. You don't need to live on a farm to embrace seasonal cooking. Visit your local farmer's market or even your backyard garden. Let the fresh, in-season ingredients inspire your meals. In summer, think fresh tomato soups, salsas, or basil salads. Come fall, enjoy squash, sweet potatoes, or a warm slice of homemade pumpkin pie. Seasonal cooking isn't just practical, it's deeply satisfying. A stew made with root vegetables in winter has a richness that summer produce can't match, almost as if the season itself is flavoring the food. Cooking with Amish wisdom. The Amish have mastered cooking without electricity by blending resourcefulness with tradition. From wood-burning stoves to canning and earth ovens, their techniques remind us that good food comes from patience and care, not just technology. So, if you're tired of relying on gadgets or reheating meals, why not take inspiration from the Amish? Try cooking with less power and more intention. Who knows? You might discover that the most memorable meals are those made with love, time, and a touch of ingenuity.